All right, we are going to start our factoring unit. Before we do that, we have to know how to find the GCF in general. GCF stands for greatest common factor. Here are your prime numbers. These are super duper important to know. 2, 3, 5, 7, not 9, because 9 is 3 times 3, so that's not a prime number. 11, 13, and then 17, and there's a lot of prime numbers, but in general, I would say 17 is as high as it's going to go. And so you'll see what I mean by prime numbers. We're always, so do you remember how like when we're solving or simplifying radicals, you have to do your prime factor tree, and you always start with 2, and you go all the way down until then you go to 3. Well, it's the same thing, or it's the same principle here. So for instance, if it says find the GCF, you take each term and you start with your coefficient, which is, in this case, 4. So 4 is divisible by 2 and 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. I've got 7 A's. Oops, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I've got a B. For 28A to the B, you can even do a little factor tree over here. 2, 14, 2, 7. So 28 is 2 times 7, and then I've got 1A and 1B. So the greatest common factor is anything that matches together. So I've got a 2 on both of them. I've got another 2 on both of them. I don't have a 7, but I've got an A, and I've got this B. So my GCF is 2 times A times B, which then reduces down to 4AB. So that's my GCF. All right, let's do more of a little shortcut, because this is really how you're going to be doing it. So let's start with the smallest number is 28. All right, so then I say 2, 14, 2, 7, right? So I start with 2, because that's my smallest number. Is 2 divisible by 35? No. So then I go to 7. Is 7 divisible by 35? Yes. Is 7 divisible by 49? Yes. So I know in terms of my GCF, I'm going to be taking out a 7. Okay? So now I'm going to look at I've got Y. I've got 2 Y's. Over here, I only have 1 Y. Over here, I only have 1 Y. So out of each monomial, I can only take out 1 Y. So my GCF would be 7Y. I can't take out any X's because this first one doesn't have any X's. All right, so now let's actually get to factoring. So I start with my smallest. I look at my coefficients. 3 is my smaller coefficient. Does 3 go into 6 evenly? Yes. So I can take out a 3. The first monomial has 2 R's. The second one has 1 R, so I can take out an R. And both of them have at least 1 T, so I can take out a T. So really what we're doing right now is the distributive property backwards. So my GCF of this binomial is 3RT. So now we're going to divide. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. I had 2 R's. I took 1 out, so I'm left with an R. I had a T. I took it away, so it's gone. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. And then I had an R, I took it out. I had 2 T's, I took 1 T out, so T. So now I can just rewrite that as 3RT, 2R minus T. That is completely factored. All right, so I start with my smallest number, which is 36. I'm going to go ahead and factor it. So 2, 18, 2, 9, 3, 3. For 48, I'm going to go ahead and factor that one too. So 2, 24, 2, 12, 2, 6, 2, 3. All right, so those 2 are common, those 2's are common, and that 3 is common. So in terms of my GCF, I know it's 2 times 2 times 3. And then I can take out an X because both of them at least have 1 X, and I can take out a Y because they both at least have the 1 Y. So in terms of my GCF, 2 times 2 times 3, so 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. So my GCF is going to be 12XY. So now I need to factor that. So I need to take out 12xy, parentheses. All right, so now I'm going to go back over here. 36 divided by 12 is 3. I had 1x, I took the x, I had 1x, I took the x out, so it's gone. I had 2 y's, I took 1 y out, so I have 1 y. Negative 48 divided by 12 is negative 4. I had 2 x's, I took 1 out, so I'm left with 1x, and I had 1 y, took that 1 y out, so I'm done. So this is my factored, completely factored. All right, now I've got 3 terms. I start with my smallest term, which is an 8. So immediately, can 8 go into negative 24? Yes. Can 8 go into 16? Yes. So I know I'm going to take out an 8. I look at all the p's, and each one has at least 1 p. I look at all the r's, and there's at least 1 r in each one. All right, so now I've got my parentheses. 8 divided by 8 is 1, so that is just there. I had 2 p's, I took 1 out, so I'm left with a p. I had 2 r's, I took 1 out, I'm left with an r. Negative 24 divided by 8 is negative 3. I had a p, I took it away. I had 3 r's, I took 1 r away, so I'm left with 2 r's. A positive 16 divided by 8 is a positive 2. I had a p, I took it away. I had an r, I took it away. And there we go. That's completely factored. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3 terms. So just like before, I look at my smallest, which is a 5. My smallest, I'm looking just at my coefficients. Does 5 go into 10? Yes. Does 5 go into 25? Yes. So I can take out a 5. I look at all my x's. I have at least 1 x. And I can't take any y's out because this last term doesn't have any. Okay, so now parentheses. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so it's just, we know it's there, but we don't write it. I have 3 x's, I take 1 away, so I'm left with x squared. I have 2 y's, I don't take any of them away, so I have y squared. A positive 10 divided by 5 is a positive 2. I have 2 x's, I take 1 away, so I'm left with an x, and then y. And then positive 25 divided by 5 is a positive 5. Add an x, and I took it away. Done. All right, this time I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So if I have 4 terms, I need to factor by grouping. What that means is you take the first 2 terms and the second 2 terms, and you factor them separately. So for the first one, if I'm just looking here, my smallest number, or my smallest coefficient, is a 2. Does 2 go into 3 evenly? No. And that's a prime number, so I can't take out any numbers, any coefficients. However, in both of my terms, I have at least 1 a, so I can take an a out. 2 divided by 1 is 2. I had an a, I took 1 away, so a. Positive 3 divided by 1 is plus 3. I had an a, and it went away. All right, so if this is a plus, then I need to write plus. All right, so now I'm going to look at my code. Now I'm looking over here at these 2 binomials. All right, 6 does not go into 9, but 6 is 2 times 3, and 3 goes into 9. So I can take out a 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then I have that a. 9 divided by 3 is a positive 3. All right, at this point, what's in the parentheses has to be identical. And sure enough, it is. 2a plus 3 are both in parentheses. So I rewrite it as 2a plus 3. Then, whatever is left over, I have an a and a plus 3. So I write that a plus 3. That is factored. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So I break it up into 2. So I'm going to look at this first. Does 4 go into 12? Yes. So I can take out a 4, and both terms have at least 1 b. 4 divided by 4 is 1. I had 2 b's. I took a b out, so I'm left with b. Negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. I had a b. I took it away. That's huge. That's a plus, so I have to put plus. The 2 goes into 6, so I can take out the 2. I have a b, but the second term doesn't have a b, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then I'm left with the b. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. These have to be identical. They are, so I rewrite them, and then whatever's left over, 4b plus 2. Let's do one more. Oops, here, example 9. 12a squared minus 15ab minus 16a plus 20b. All right, so I have 4 terms, so I break it up into 2 groups. 12 does not go into 15, but 12 is 2 times 6, 2 times 3. 2 doesn't go into 15, but 3 does, so I can take a 3 out. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and then, oops, sorry. So I can take the 3 out. I have 2 a's in the first term, 1 a in the second term, so I can take out an a. Now let me take out. Okay, so 12 divided by 3 is 4. I have 2 a's. I took 1 away, so an a. Negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. My a's cancel. I bring down my b. This time, it's a minus, so I have to say minus. 16 does not go into 20, but 16 is 2 times 8, 2 times 4, 2 times 2. So 2 goes out, so 4. I can take 4 at least out of each one. So 4, right? Because 16 divided by 4 is 4, 20 divided by 4 is 5. So negative 16 divided by negative 4 is a positive 4, and then I've got that a. Positive 20 divided by negative 4 is a negative 5, and I have that b. These have to be identical. Sure enough, they are, so I rewrite it. And then whatever's left over, which is 3a minus 4. All right, that's it. Okay, so for your first 2, you're just finding the GCF between each monomial. And then 3 through 8, you need to factor. So you need to do the distributive property backwards. Number 6, 7, and 8 they have 4 terms, so that's when you're going to do it. Break it up into 2 and do it by grouping. Okay.